Did Judge Judy really call President Donald Trump dumb? Why does Judge Joseph Wapner hate her so much? Judge Judy has been called a mean person. There have been stories that she treats people badly, and that's just the beginning. Her haters have also say Judy isn't good enough to be judge because Esh has been kicked out of being a lawyer. Are these stories against Judge Judy true? Judge Judy has decided to tell everyone the truth, and what she has said is what people have thought all along. In 2004, before America's big election for president, Judge Judy said she wanted Nikki Haley to win and wanted her to beat Donald Trump. Judge Judy doesn't like Trump or Joe Biden and didn't want them to run for president of America at the time. She thought the men weren't smart enough to lead America forward. Judge Judy, who many people love, said the country wouldn't get better if Biden or Trump won the election. She even said Trump only won in 2016 because he got lucky, but did some good things when he was president. But Judy thought that Trump didn't have anything good to give America. Is Judy right? Usually, Shetri's really hard to stay away from politics. Before 2024, the last time that she picked a candidate was in 2020 when she supported Michael Bloomberg when he tried to become the Democratic voice. Even then, she was sure Trump wasn't a great president, and no, she is really sure that Trump would ruin America. Should Judge Judy have even picked anyone in the first place? Do you think that she is right that Trump would ruin America? Her support of Nikki Haley didn't work like she thought it would because Haley lost to Trump and Americans mostly voted for Trump in the big elections. Did Judy feel bad about supporting Haley? That support made her fans split up. Some felt she should have supported Trump. Others said she shouldn't have gotten into politics at all. But Judy didn't care. She thought going against Trump and Biden was the right thing to do. She probably was thinking her support awfully would help her win because of how popular her shows are. She thought it would work the same way Oprah Winfrey's show helped Barack Obama become president. When Oprah supported Obama back then, her support was said to have given Obama over 1 million votes. Judge Judy was just as popular as Oprah Winfrey's show. It had millions of viewers and even won a world record because of how long it was on TV. People just kept watching, and Judge Judy got a whole new group of young viewers. People loved watching Judy, and they even liked her more than real-life Judge because people got justice so fast. Judy didn't even end the show because it became unpopular, but because she wanted to leave it and make a new one completely. However, in making that show, people think that Judy has found her real self. What is her real self? Judge Judy is known for her mean words, funny one-liners, and tough scolding to people in court. She has sayings like baloney and don't pee in my leg and tell me it's raining, which are famous. However, she has been accused of not always saying the things at the right time or even treating people in court nicely. Imagine a woman with children trying to pay back money she owes, and Judge Judy said something mean like this. It would look like she didn't care. Well, this happened many times. One day, a 20-year-old person who had 4 children and was married to her husband who cheated on her came into the court. She was very sad, but instead of being kind to this woman, Judge Judy said her sadness was because of her life problems and not because her husband was cheating on her. It might be true, but that wasn't what the lady needed right then. And Judge Judy shaders used this chance to criticize her. They said that right then that woman needed kindness and help, not more criticism. However, that wasn't the only time Judy went too far. In another time that her haters talked about, Judge Judy called a person in court and her mother idiots. Was Judy right to call people names in these situations? Are there good reasons for these situations? Fans of Judge Judy said her way is because of her past job as a family court judge in Manhattan. They say because of the kind of people she had dealt with, Judy had to be tough, and that toughness worked. Her fans also said that many people lied about their problems to get sympathy, and being a person who can tell when people lie, Judge Judy sees through the lies, which make it seem like Judge Judy didn't care about people's feelings. Also, they found her meanness and funny comments fun to watch. Her haters think Judy is doing too much. They say when her show started, Judy wasn't mean to people in court, but as the show went on, she started to be, and her haters think they know why she got this way. They say that Judy had become very varic, and her money made her look down on people and not understand what people in court were really going through. They even called the people who liked her sick and mean. Are Judy's fans really sick and mean? One of Judy's haters was another big name off Courtroom show, Joseph Wapner. And let us talk about something else for a bit. Joseph was a judge on People's Court, and way before Judge Judy started, Judy wanted to take Joseph's place. When the People's Court let Joseph go from his job in May 1993, Judy was told no, but she didn't give up. She loved the show so much that her second husband, Jerry Shindlin, later became a person who makes decisions on the People's Court from 1999 to 2001. However, when her mother and father died, Judy had a really hard time. A huge feeling of losing Samiona covered her as the deaths of her parents made her very sad. In trying to deal with the pain from losing them, Judy's relationship with her husband got worsened. In 1990, the two got divorced. Even though they got married again in 1991, the lovebirds just couldn't let each other go. So, Judy has always been connected to courtroom shows for most of her adult life, but it doesn't seem like Joseph liked this. And so, he took a shot at Judy in 2002. Joseph said Judy doesn't act like a real judge should, and her style was like a person that didn't have good manners. That must have surprised Judy, who has a reputation for being mean to people in court herself. But didn't take the bait. Instead, she said that she wasn't going to get into a fight with Joseph. Well, at first, that is. She then added that Joseph didn't learn the lesson of staying quiet if he didn't have anything nice to say about someone. Joseph didn't like what Judy said, and he was very angry. He was determined to get back at her. The battle line had been drawn between the two, and people wondered who the winner would be. Joseph didn't want to lose the battle, so he went all the way. He started to give different interviews and called Judy all sorts of bad names, heckled her, stuck up, and criticized her for putting people down. He even called her a shame to her job as a judge. This came at a time people have been asking if Judy was even good enough to be a judge. So, it hurt worse than anything. Joseph was determined to tear her down by saying Judge Judy was making justice look mean, cold, and fake. Judy was never going to let an attack like that go without fighting back. So, she gave a response so famous that it is still being talked about in some places till this day. What did she say? Remember how Judge Judy's fans say they find her style fun to watch? Judy knew this, and when she wanted to get back at him, she called Joseph boring and not likely to make it in the TV business. She said that Joseph didn't have the brains and timing to make something fun to watch since he doesn't have a sense of humor. Judge Judy didn't stop after this. In 2013, during a talk with Larry King, Judy was asked what she thought of Joseph's work as a TV judge. Her answer was soft but angry. She said that Joseph was boring. Since then, Joseph stopped criticizing Judy in public. Who do you think won their battle? This isn't the first time Judge Judy would be winning battles, but the one battle that is hanging around her head, refusing to go away. This problem has been so hard for her that she has decided to speak out and say what fans have been thinking. What happened and what did she say? We'll get to that pretty soon. However, Judy is a tough judge. It might take months or years even, but Judy always give us everything to win. When she wanted to take Joseph's place in People's Court in 1993, she was called crazy. However, Judy didn't give up, and when Thechins came in late 1993, she grabbed it. After Josh Getlin, who got the idea from his wife Heidi, wrote about Judy as one of the toughest family court judges in America, Judy became famous and 60 Minutes came along. She did so amazingly well that she got a sked to write a book. She said yes and wrote one called Don't Pee on My Leg and Tell Me It's Raining. Looks like she really loves using that saying. The book's company, HarperCollins, told her the book title was weird and no one would read it. But Judy didn't listen and published the book anyway, but it only ended up selling to 1679 copies. Judy won the battle, but lost the war. Maybe she should have listened to her book company, shouldn't she? The next battle Judy fought was when she got her own courtroom show, Judge Judy. After trying and failing to get on People's Bench, something the showmakers would not feel bad about. By the way, two talent scouts, Kay Switzer and Sandy Spreeman from the talent company Rebel. Kay and Spreeman had made People's Court before and were sure that Judy was the next big thing. So, they told her their idea of a new courtroom series. Judy liked it and got her show, but she didn't want it to be called Judge Judy. She wanted it to be called Hot Bench. The TV makers didn't say yes, and Judy just let it go. Or so they thought. Judy never forgot about this no. Sawyers after they said no, Judy started her own TV company and did a spin-off of Judge Judy, which she called Hot Bench. Like Judge Judy, the show was a big hit right away. However, in that success came more battles for Judge Judy fight. Rebels sued her and sub several times over money they should get, but Judge Judy won. Switzer and Sandy Spreeman also did the same, but Judy beat him too. But there is one thing that Judge Judy has not been able to completely beat. Because of her style, Judy has been accused of not being a real judge because no real judge would act like her. Joseph also made this accusation popular when he battled with Judy. And people haven't stopped asking about Judy's training since then. Judge Judy has never been kicked out of being a lawyer before. She can't even be kicked out because she isn't actively working as a lawyer. And because of that, she can't be kicked out. Being kicked out doesn't even matter in her job. But could she still be open to any kind of punishment? Judy passed her New York lawyer test in 1965. She first worked as a company lawyer. Then when she got bored of that, she became a prosecutor. Judy was so good that she got moved up to work as a Manhattan family court judge. Right now, Judy is working as a person who makes decisions and not as a sitting judge. As a person who makes decisions, her choices are final, but they are outside traditional court watching. This stops her from facing punishments like being kicked out or formal looking into, as her decisions are not subject to the same rules as an active judge. So, as you may have thought, Judy has the right training and isn't in a position to get kicked out. Will the stories of being kicked out surrounding her eventually go away? Imagine dealing with stories that knowingly go into the heart of your work. Butte your very personality and who you are. Judge Judy has tried her best to ignore stories, but there was one that went too far and the judge just said no more and sued. We'll get to that very soon. But is one thing that's strange. Some people think she deserves this because she is a bad person. Are they right? Is Judge Judy really a bad person? When many people think about Judge Judy, their minds turn to the calm and charming Petri Hawkins Bird, who worked as her bailiff. Bird has always been a big fan of Judy, and he stands for most of the things she stands for. For example, they both don't like President Donald Trump. One of the things Bird reportedly dislikes about Trump is because he thinks Trump acts like he is above the law. Is he right? Does President Donald Trump act above the law? Bird has always been interested in law while growing up, and it's because of where he lived. Born in 1957, Bird grew up during the last time off Jim Crow laws and the civil rights movement. He also had a thing for acting too, but his love for law won, and after he finished Eastern District High School in Brooklyn and Theostas Community College in the Bronx, he started work as a court officer. At first, Bird worked in the Brooklyn part of the New York City court system in the early 1980s. Bird was still excited about learning more. So, in 1986, he signed up for John Jay College of Criminal Justice. Around the same time, he was moved to Family Court Division in Manhattan. This was the moment his life changed, but he didn't know it at the time. While working in the family court system, he met Judge Judy Schindling, who was Theba's family court judge for Manhattan. However, he didn't work directly for her and worked for a couple of other judges taking turns. Eventually, he got to work for her too, and she made a great impression on him. Judge Judy was happy to have him in her court, and he wasn't bored anytime he was with her. He liked her direct and blunt style, but he admitted that not every wanted it. Should Judge Judy change her style? Bird also made a good impression on Judge Judy, and when she wanted to choose a bailiff for her show, she chose Bird. The two had great chemistry, even if Bird didn't speak much. Bird only spoke when Judge Judy talked to him, and he was really good at looking unitarian and dropping funny comments. Judy counted on Bird to do more than just call cases. He gave frequent advice when it came to looking up car prices so Judge Judy can give the right judgment amount. When people in court were losing control of their feelings and wanted to fight, Bird helped keep them calm. If any people in court were getting rude and weren't listening to his boss, Bird shut him down hard. He was always ready to throw out people in court who were acting badly. The two acted like old married couples and didn't even need to talk to each other before knowing what the other needed to do. Now, imagine Bird's shock when, anytime something important was about to happen, Judy left him out. After several years and despite being on TV screens, Judge Judy didn't win any Emmy Awards. Judy and Bird tried to play it off like it didn't matter. but it bothered them. Then eventually when they win, it was supposed to be a special moment for both Bird and Judge Judy, but didn't want to celebrate it with him. During the awards ceremony, Bird sat in a far place from Judy. And when Judge Judy was announced as winner of their first Emmy Award, Judy asked another person to give the award to her. This really hurt Bird, but unfortunately Judy would hurt him some more. After about 25 seasons, Judge Judy ended, but apart from the show still being shown on TV, Judy moved to a spin-off from Judge Judy, which shackled Judy Justice. Fans were excited because this meant they would continue to see their favorite on-screen judge and her bailiff, Bird. However, in the first episode of the new show, fans didn't see Bird and they immediately got upset. It turned out that Judy had kicked him out. She told him that she couldn't afford Bird, which was crazy. Judy is super rich and could easily afford to pay him. Fans complained about what Judy did, even the ones who really loved her. So, she had no choice than to hire Bird back, but put him in one of her other shows. Do you think Judy is a bad person because of the ways she treated Bird? Or does making things right and getting him on another show how much she values and respects him? Speaking of respect, when Accelerate 360 Media didn't show Judge Judy any, she sued them. Accelerate 360 Media through their smaller company National Enquirer and In Touch Weekly wrote an article about Judge Judy. They wrote that Judy was asking for their lease of the Menendez brothers. Remember them? They were the Toe brothers who killed their parents and went on a shopping spree in 1989. The brothers got sentenced to life in prison and have been said to have been acting well. And because of that, Accelerate 360 Media said Judy wanted the brothers to be let out on parole. Judy has said this is not true and has sued Accelerate 360 Media for theatrical. She said if they were ready to tell lies about her, they should be ready for what comes next. Judy is not ready to let go, and she said that there have been many mean attacks against her and this time she plans to fight it to the end. Will she win this fight or will she lose it?